Hi everybody, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, this is what you get, how do I say this, when government gets involved in running cruise ships. Wait till you hear about this total fiasco. So right now, there is a huge political scandal going on in Australia when it comes to ferries and cruise ships, because a brand new cruise ship, 700 feet in length, beautiful looking brand new ship. It was called the Spirit of Tasmania 4. And it was set to set sail from Devonport, Australia, as it was built in Finland, but it's not sailing. It's actually been sent to Scotland. And while it's in Scotland, it's basically just sitting there doing nothing. And it's built. It's ready. It's ready to go. It's all set. First of all, let's see, why did it get moved from Finland? Well, it got moved from the port in Finland because at this time of year, the ice packs are starting to get a little thicker in there and they can't store the ship out of dry dock, so they had to move it to a new port. Why not move it to Australia then, right? The cruise ship season's going on now. It's getting ready to go full blast in Australia. Well, the ship is too big. They built a ship that doesn't fit the docks that it was set to home port at. In fact, those docks won't be ready until possibly 2026, maybe even 2027. Possibly 2 to 3 years from the time the ship is ready. And this is a state-owned cruise ship. They own these ferries, except they run them. But they built a ship that doesn't fit the infrastructure that they have to run it. Isn't this a little bit of a case of putting the cart before the horse, right? It just seems very, very simple logic, but apparently they did not count on this going on. So now it's in Scotland. And you would say to myself, well, you know what? Maybe they need some ferries in Scotland. And guess what? They do. Scotland is looking to purchase some new vehicles and new ferries and everything to go around. But the ship is too big for their infrastructure as well. In fact, Scotland is also in a little bit of its own problem, as the state government is ordering ships that are too large for its infrastructure right now. And people are upset over that situation going on. So, yeah. Government involved in cruise ships. Building ships that don't fit the dock you're going in. That's like going and buying a brand new house or car and then going and buying a house that the car doesn't fit in the garage or even in the driveway. And you have to park the car over at another house. At your old house. It just doesn't make a lot of sense, but there you go. The Spirit of Tasmania 4 being mothballed for possibly 3 years, meanwhile paying all of the money that it costs to make the ship, the infrastructure, the storage, etc. And then when it comes out of mothballs, it's going to cost hundreds of $1,000s to prepare to sail again when it's finally able, if they ever get those docks built that can fit the size of the cruise ship they built. A lot of fun there. A lot of fun going on in Australia right now. Next, let's talk about some new ships coming to Alaska. Alaska has been trying to, limit cruise ships, and that vote that we had in Juneau of possibly no more Saturdays, etc., which luckily did not pass for the cruise industry. But we have 2 cruise lines now getting ready to sail in Alaska for the very first time. Virgin Cruise Line's Brilliant Lady will be sailing out of Seattle and Vancouver on both 7 and 12 night sailings starting in 2026. Also, the MSC Posea will be sailing 7-night cruises out of Seattle. So 2 brand new ships, cruise lines, shall we say, sailing to Alaska to go along with Disney, Royal Caribbean, Cunard, Carnival, Princess, Celebrity, Holland America, etc., etc., etc. All sailing to Alaska in the Alaska seasons because Alaska is just such a popular destination, and they want to basically go in and make sure they get their cut of the pie of the Alaska season. We'll see what happens if the other cruise lines cut back a little bit on their ships, maybe. We'll have to see what happens with that, but I don't foresee a cruise line saying, oh, those cruise lines are coming in, let's cut back 1 or 2 of our ships that are sailing there currently. I don't foresee that happening anytime soon. Now, I also want to talk about Royal Caribbean. They just had a quarterly update on money and everything to their financiers. Wait to hear some of the stories coming from that. But before I get there, let me just invite you to hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. You want to keep up to date with everything going on in cruising, from price hikes to new ships coming online to the stories about ships that are going to be mothballed for 3 years. Isn't that an incredible story? Crazy things going on. I'll try and keep you as best informed I can. Storms, changes of itineraries, new ships, etc. And maybe save you a little money and a little frustration on your next cruise. I hope you'll join us. It doesn't cost anything, but I really do appreciate it. All right, let's talk about Royal Caribbean. They just had a quarterly report saying that their basic profit is up 18% from 2019, which means they are full-blown recovered as far as the pandemic is concerned. And they are predicting their 2025 growth rate now is bookings are outpacing the 2024 bookings, which were a record-setting bookings already. They're predicting their growth of about 8% in 2025 and 5% in 2026. And a lot of this is done because of their new pricing strategy where they use AI. And this pricing strategy goes for everything from how full the ship is to empty cabins and raising the price because there's less cabins available in that category. And basically also trying to sell people more items before they even get on the ship. They say about 70% of people going on their ships purchase items to do like shore excursions or drink packages or anything like that, Wi-Fi, before they even step foot on the ships. And those 70% usually spend about double what the other 30% who don't purchase things ahead of time. So their pricing strategy is always out there to sell more before you even set foot on the ship. Not only that, they're saying that because the bookings are so strong and their ships are so popular, they're also bringing in a lot more younger generation, about 20% growth from younger people sailing on their cruise ships. They say right now the average household salary for an average passenger on Royal Caribbean is in the $120,000 US per year, which would be about 180,000 Canadian. So their average household salary is almost $200,000 Canadian just to get on a cruise ship. That lets you know how much money you have to have every year to go on a cruise vacation right now. It's kind of getting out of hand, I think, how expensive cruising has suddenly become. As I'm looking into the 2026 season and that right now, it's going through the roof, folks. It really is. And it's not just Royal Caribbean, it's everybody who's busy right now. The pricing is exponentially going higher and higher because we're all cruising. Now, they do say they are starting to see a slowdown in the amount of bookings from like previous last year. There's strong bookings for next year, but they're seeing differences, like cabin, instead of booking mini suites, now they're booking balconies or balconies to inside. There's a change in strategy as prices go up. Consumers are looking to save where they can. So we'll see if that affects pricing in the near future as well. I just hope that the pricing starts stabilizing and it makes it easier for everyone. You don't have to make almost $200,000 a year to get on a cruise. Well, let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. Do you think it's kind of hilarious that a government built a ship that they don't have any place they can put it? Well, I hope you appreciate this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world? Hit that subscribe button. Until next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.